Okay, so now number 4, we're gonna solve the quadratic equation. How we're going to do that, okay, how we're going to do that is by factoring or by using the quadratic formula. Okay, now I'm going to take a look at this first, and I'm going to say, well, in order to solve a quadratic equation, it must be equal to 0. Yes, it must be equal to 0 first. It is. Good. So, next step. Well, we could try to factor it. All right, I could say what times what makes 4x squared plus 16x plus 12. Man, I really wish instead of that 4, it would be just like an x squared. God, that'd be so cool. Like, totally cool, man. Totally, bruh. Turns out we can, right? Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? Take a look here. What do you notice about those 3 terms? You looking at those 3 terms? You looking at this face? Look at these terms, huh? Yes, 4x squared, 16x, 12. My man. Absolutely. They're all divisible by 4. So if I divide out a 4, I can pull out a 4. All right. Let's get that. All right. I can pull out that 4. What would I be left with inside here if I divide out a 4? Good. An x squared. If I divide this term by 4, I'm left with plus 4x. And if I divide the 12 by 4, I'm left with plus 3. All right, if you go ahead and multiply this 4 back in, you would get 4x squared, you would get 16x, and you would get 12. All right, we haven't changed anything. We just pulled out a 4. All right, now let's go to factoring. The 4 is going to stay there, but now I'm going to break up. I'm going to break up this guy. It's so easy now. What times what makes x squared? X and x. All right, how can we multiply to make 3? Yeah, 3 times 1. All right, and they're both positive. I want the outside, which is 1x, and the inside, which is 3x. I want them to add to make 4, and they do. They do. That absolutely works. Right, man, was that easy once we pulled out that 4. I want to solve now. So I've got 4 times some number times some other number equals 0. The only way that's going to happen, holy smokes, ladies and gentlemen, have this make sense. The only way that's going to happen, how can you multiply 2 numbers, or in this case 3, how can you multiply 3 numbers together to get a product of 0? The only way for that to happen is if at least one of those products, or one of those factors, one of those numbers is 0. Will 4 ever be 0? The answer should be no. 4 is always going to be 4. All right, it'll be 4 today, it'll be 4 tomorrow, it'll be 4 next year. 4 is 4. But when would this be 0? When would x plus 3 be 0? All right, when would x plus 3 be 0? Well, I don't know. When does x plus 3 equal 0? Subtract 3 from both sides, and you get x equals negative 3. This will be 0 when x is negative 3. Negative 3 minus 3, 0. And 4 times 0 is 0. Times anything is still 0. So that would make this equation true. If x was negative 3, that's one of our answers. Or, what's our other answer? Well, what if x was negative 1? Right? Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. And then again, same thing. 0 times anything is 0. Here are our 2 answers. Quadratic formula would have gotten you there. It's just not as much fun. And I think this is quicker too. All right? See you in a second. Or not.